Hey guys, what's going on? Glad to see all you paying members here. I have a very special video for you. I'm going to show you exactly how I get through Battles from the Ages really quickly with what I would say is the fastest deck in the game. And the reason for that is because it involves Peer into the Abyss. And Peer into the Abyss right now is not working as written, but it is working in our favor. So target player that can draw cards draws 6 cards. That player gains 30 loyalty and loses half their life rounded up. So the way that it's working now, it appears to both be calculating it as life loss and damage dealt. So when you have another card in play that counts damage dealt, this card actually does that. It actually counts this card. So, for example, we've got Twin Flame Tyrant. When a spell or creature deals damage to opposing creature or opponent's planeswalker, double that damage. So, when we cast Peer into the Abyss, Twin Flame Tyrant thinks it's damage dealt. So, it will double the damage. So, if you deal damage equal to half the amount of your opponent's remaining hit points, Twin Flame Tyrant will deal that same amount of damage, leaving them at 0. So this works against any opponent that you're facing, and it will win you the game instantly when you play these 2 cards in succession. So the rest of the deck is all about just making that happen as quickly as possible. We want that sequence to go Twin Flame Tyrant into Peer into the Abyss, and anything else is just kind of there to make that happen. So one of the easier ways of doing that is by using Whir of Invention and Omniscience. The optimal setup is Whir of Invention into Twin Flame Tyrant into Peer into the Abyss. And that will win you the game instantly. So everything else just kind of helps with that. Sometimes you might do Dark Ritual into Whir of Invention into, Turn Timber Symbiosis, which then you can fetch a Twin Flame Tyrant and play, and then into Peer into the Abyss. But a lot of times you don't have both pieces in your hand, so all the other things are meant to make that happen quicker. So we got Wandering Mind. When this creature enters the battlefield, pick one of the first 4 spell or support cards from your library, fetch that card. So that way you're probably going to fetch a spell such as Mystical Teachings, and then Mystical Teachings, you can choose either the Turn Timber Symbiosis or Peer into the Abyss, depending on what you need. And then Bright Glass Gear Hulk, you will be able to pull in Omniscience or a Twin Flame Tyrant, or even sometimes a Wandering Mind if you just need to fetch a spell that you don't have yet. So there are a lot of different paths to getting your pieces on the board really quickly. Dark Ritual and Startled Awake just to speed up casting of some of these other cards. You could do a Dark Ritual into a Whir of Invention, into any number of other cards in here. It's a very defined objective that you're trying to meet in order to win, and every card here helps with making that happen. So that's why this deck is really fast and really consistent. You get a lot of turn 2 and 3 wins, sometimes turn 1, but on average, you're spending a minute to a minute and a half on every battle, no matter how many hit points your opponent has. So we are doing this because we are trying to get through Battles from the Ages as quickly as possible, because Battles from the Ages, the progression rewards, I do it for the mana jewels. This is by far the most efficient way of farming mana jewels in the game, and we use mana jewels to go and spend on elite packs, and that's what we do here. This is how, as a free-to-play player, you'll be able to get the mythics and masterpieces in a set. It takes a lot of time to go through Battles from the Ages. I think I calculated it takes about 7.5 runs through Battles from the Ages to get 400 jewels, and those 400 jewels get you an elite pack. So every time this event comes around, I try to go through it a handful of times just so that I get the jewels, and then I can spend them So if we're winning a match in 1 to 2 minutes, then we can grind through a run of Battles from the Ages in about 10 to 12 minutes. And if we do that 7 times, we're talking about an hour and a half worth of grinding to get a mythic or masterpiece in this game. So if that is worth it to you, then this is the deck for you. And how you get those pieces, let's look at what we've got available to us. Peer into the Abyss. This is from a legacy set, Core 2021. The best way that you're going to score this card is by crafting it. So spending your crafting orbs on mythics from that set will get you actually a decent amount of good cards, but Peer into the Abyss is the one that we're really after here. And then Twin Flame Tyrant is from Foundations, so you can target Foundations from that set. And this card is just really good in general. It has a lot of utility outside of just this event. So this is a creature that I feel goes with Peer into the Abyss the best, because you can use it for other things, not just this combo. But we also have a couple of other cards that will work for it. We've got Fire Servant, a red mythic creature from PMA. So this one will take a little bit longer to get to because you have to target it with crystals, and it's really the only way of getting it is by spending the crystals to get it. So that's one option there. This is the original option. This is kind of the card that created the archetype to begin with. So you might hear mention on Discords of Peer Servant, and they're talking about combining Peer into the Abyss and Fire Servant. The other card that will work for this is Solfim, Mayhem Dominus. When a spell you control deals damage to an opposing target, deal that much damage to that target. So you're dealing damage, but even though it says we're losing life, we're dealing damage as well. Because the card works that way, this card works for it as well. This is the one that I least recommend because of the activate 5 red. This creature doesn't have prevent damage. If you have 2 or more cards in your hand, discard 2 cards and this creature gains prevent damage. So that activate 5 can get you into trouble. You might accidentally discard a piece that you need for your combo. So this is the one that I recommend the least. But if it's all you have, then you can go ahead and run this combo. So even if you don't have Omniscience, you can build a different type of looping deck. You can go with Lord Windgrace and create kind of a green looper deck with like Song of Creation or something like that. And it won't be as consistent, but it will be better than trying to hard cast everything. Yeah, I just go with this one because it is the fastest one for me. And now I will show you exactly how fast it is in real time, so you can see that I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. All right, let's get into gameplay here. All right, let's do it. We got Brood Monitor. It should be pretty easy. There are only a couple of battles that jam up this deck. And if we run into them, I'll talk about it. Yeah, let's get a Mystical Teachings and then try and fetch that Peer into the Abyss after we cast our Twin Flame Tyrant. I'm going to hold off on that Dark Ritual. Actually, I did cast it, didn't I? Oops. Okay, so if we Mystical Teachings into our Peer into the Abyss, then we go ahead and win. So I'm going to take this Word of Invention and see what we get there. Let's see. I guess I'll go there. Didn't quite work. So if we mystical teachings into appear into the abyss, then we win. So there it is. So that's all we're after. Everything else we don't have to worry about. Unless we get into a jam. But I hate when it does that sometimes. Makes us go back to the beginning. Chewing up precious time. Okay, a thawing world. Another should be easy one. Okay, we get Dark Ritual into Bright Glass Gearhulk. Maybe we can grab an Omniscience with it. Yep, sweet. So as of now, as of this recording, Omniscience is bugged in that it will just go straight to combat phase without actually letting us cast any other cards. So hopefully that'll be fixed and we'll make this even faster. But even with it being bugged, still really fast. That was like a 37. That was like a 30-second match right there, more or less. Okay, start awake into. So I want to get a Wandering Mind so I can grab my other pieces first. We know we'll have a Twin Flame Tyrant around. Oh shoot, I hated that. We know we have a Twin Flame Tyrant. We did. We put an Omni on the board. Next things we cast will be free. Let's see if we grab Twin Flame. Or Mystical Teaching. Yeah. So we'll grab a Twin Flame with our Turn Timber. And then appear into the Abyss with our Mystical Teachings. Sweet. So we won't always be able to grab the same spell. But as long as we can grab and peer into the Abyss, that's the better way to play it. Turn Timber into Twin Flame Tyrant, then Mystical Teachings into appear into the Abyss, if you can't fetch appear itself. So what we're really doing is just doubling up our chances of being able to grab the pieces we need by the choices we made in deck building. Grab Whir of Invention. Okay. We can do Dark Ritual into Whir of Invention. Grab a Turn Timber. Here's another Dark Ritual. Let's see. I don't think we need a second Dark Ritual, but we'll... Okay, so peer into the Abyss. We just win right here. Perfect. Dark Ritual gets our Whir of Invention. We put a Twin Flame Tyrant down, and then we peer into the Abyss. And that's all it takes. So you're probably starting to see now why this deck wins so fast. It's just got multiple pathways to our win con, and our win con just wins instantly. No messing around with creatures buffing or anything like that. So it's super fast. We're about on schedule as far as winning our average win rate speed. Okay, so we can start Awake into a Mystical Teachings, maybe grab a Turn Timber, or let's see what we can get. Then we use Karn because he can fetch pieces for us. I grab a Bright Glass. See if I can Mystical Teachings into a Whir of Invention. Perfect. Then Bright Glass will put our Twin Flame Tyrant down. Mystical Teachings will grab a Peer into the Abyss. And there you have it. So fast. Alright, what do we got next? Twin Flame Tyrant into a Wandering Mine. Let's see. Let's get some loyalty. And grab some pieces we want. Okay, what do we want here? Get a Bright Glass. We had Dark Ritual into a Bright Glass. And grab an Omni. Grab a Peer into the Abyss. Okay, no Omni. We could do a Startled Awake. Grab a Wandering Mind. Dark Ritual? Twin Flame or Peer into the Abyss. Okay, looks like we won't be able to win on this turn, but as long as we cast our Twin Flame next turn, we'll win. Those other pieces don't matter. At least he didn't disable my Twin Flame because it wasn't around. Let's see. Okay, I should have upped my green bonus instead. Oh well. Okay, cool. So we still get to win here. Right on. Then one battle left to go. Let's see, Bright Glass into Turn Timber. I guess I'll go there. Okay, Mystical Teachings. Maybe I can grab a... Okay, Dark Ritual's fine. Or I should just Peer into the Abyss. Hold that. See if I can cast that Gear Hulk and grab a Twin Flame and win right here. That is a possibility. No. Save it. Okay, there's a 5-match. Startled Awake will get us the... Not now. Bright Glass grabs a Twin Flame. Get that out of here. Make room. Peer into the Abyss. And then we win. So, what's great about this deck is no matter what cards you start with, there are multiple ways of getting the pieces that you need to get the optimal board state or cards in your hand to win quickly. So there you have it, my secret weapon for grinding through Battles from the Ages. Because of that, I have the ability to pull twice from the 400 jewel packs, and I will go ahead and do that as soon as I have the packs to spend them on. So hope that was helpful for you, and I'm really thankful for the support you give me by being a member of this channel. So till next time, have fun, and good luck on your quest for Peer into the Abyss if you don't have it yet. Alright, see you next time.